welcome to Sons of Olympia. I'm George.
And I'm Matt. And we are brothers.
And our parents are Olympians.
Yes, we are the sons of Olympian parents who have failed to fulfill their genetic potential.
And like all underachieving children, we've decided to start a podcast. Hello, welcome back, everybody. We've got a good one this week. We have a guest, a good guest, an Olympian guest, a world record holder. We chatted to Richard Whitehead, MBE, two-time gold medalist. And it was a good one, wasn't it, Matt?
It was. It was a great chat, wasn't he? Just a top guy.
Yeah, legend.
They say don't meet your heroes, but we did.
Yeah, it was good. And I'm excited. Hopefully the listeners will enjoy it as well. We almost lost it. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but I think we've saved it. So happy days. But I just thought I'd check in before we get to Richard. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't want to take up too much time here to get into the actual the content that everyone is waiting to hear from. But yeah, I'm well. I guess my only news is I have started a new sport.
Yeah.
I have decided to try out the tennis season. I'm putting myself out there. I'm not great at tennis, but I've discovered this thing called Spin League, which is a sort of an app that you sort of ask a couple of questions. You put your sort of level in. It gives you a few questions to sort of understand where to place you. You put it in, and then it matches you with a group of people, and you make a little league, and then you arrange games.
Oh, wow.
So today I had my first game against Joao. I was very nervous to meet a random person thinking, have I chose the right ability? Am I going to get absolutely battered here? But it was a good game. Joao was just a top guy. We had a really good match, but I did beat him.
Yes. That is funny. So you have to beat up, and it's a bit like a date almost, isn't it? You got to like, hello, how are you? How are you? Right, let's play.
It is totally like that. And we were warming up. When you're warming up, you're just hitting a few shots. You're trying to get a gauge of like, okay, are we at a point here where is there a mismatch? And I was like, okay, I think we can have a few rallies here. This is nice. And then first few points, Zhao dials it up a notch and starts like actually hitting with power in corners. And I was like, this is what we're doing. Let's go. So I decided at that point the athletic monster was going to be unleashed. Took the first set 6-0. No prisoners.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on your win.
Yeah.
When's the next game?
I don't know. I have to pick someone else now in the group. I can't play Joao again in the league. I couldn't meet up again, but I doubt he wants to after that pasting I gave him.
He'll never show his face around these parts again.
Let's hope he's not a listener.
He's not.
Anyway, how are you? How was that half marathon that you did? The Wilderness Pursuit or something?
The Trail Pursuit Cornwall, it was called. It was tough. Well, two things to talk about. One is that I think I set a world record for the fastest rolled ankle in race history. It was literally like my third or fourth step. And they're setting us off in waves, so there's not that many people like in my group going, and they're like 3, 4, what countdown? 3, 2, 1, go! I was like, yay! Couldn't believe it. And there's people there watching you go, and the guy next to me was like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Oh!" and hobbled, and it got a bit better, but it was quite a nasty one, so it was like sore. And then I did it again about a kilometre in, and I was a bit like, "Oh my god, this is what it's going to be now." Do you know what I mean? Just like 20, 30 rolls to get to the finish.
Bored.
But it held up. But it just meant then you lost your confidence, and it's a scrambly course. There's like everyone's walking the hills, and the ground is uneven and crumbly, so you have to like really be careful of your feet. So as soon as you've got an ankle that's gone, basically, you just got to be like really on it and slow and careful. And it was so hot, so it was a difficult day. And they advertised it as this like half marathon and day festival. I mentioned last time I was going because they said they'd got cold plunge and sauna, and it was going to be fun. You had to pay extra for the sauna and cold plunge. 20 quid, and it was just like a pop-up tent, the sauna, and the cold plunges were just like those ones that you put on your patio. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, and also everyone's just getting in them. There's no shower, So I'm just sitting in cold water that's just full of people's sweat and no music. The only festival stuff they had was food and coffee van. I was like, well, you expect that on a race anyway. So I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, with that. I felt conned.
And
but overall, it was all
this
right.
might be a stupid question, but aren't you near the sea?
Yeah.
With the cold plunge.
Yeah.
So,
they advertised it as well. Like, oh, sea dips included. And I was like, well, yeah, what are you going to, you're going to put the sea behind a paywall? Crazy.
yeah, I'll keep that 20 quid and I'll go in the sea.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yes, good fun event.
It's
Itching
good,
to
solid
do
fun.
more. Yeah. Well, shall we get into it?
Yes, let's
give the listeners what they want. Our chat with Richard Whitehead.
First full-blown guest appearance.
Yes. Here you are, everybody.
Love to see it.
May I present Richard Whitehead. Hello and welcome to Richard Whitehead, double gold medalist, the world record holder for the fastest marathon and the fastest 200 metres as a double amputee. He's ran the entire length of Britain. That's 40 marathons in 40 days, over 100 marathons in his entire lifetime, and the leader of the Richard Whitehead Foundation, supporting disabled people having access to sport, and an all-round legend. Richard Whitehead, thank you so much for coming on the Sons of Olympia podcast. We're very happy to have you.
It's a real pleasure, and great guys. I appreciate that you haven't earned the kit, but you're wearing it with pride, which is really good.
Yes, we appreciate you wearing more Team GB kit that you did earn. So respect that.
And I'm sure we can talk about that for sure. I've just noticed actually 3 pieces of kit. You can see my London 2012 vest in the background, obviously my Rio, and then my Turin top. So
it's not a competition, Richard. It's not a competition.
I thought it was.
And look at this. I've even got the mug.
Brilliant. Love that.
Well, first question, where are the medals? Where do you keep your medals? Or do you not want to disclose that?
I need to give you my I need to show you my London 2012 medal now.
Listeners, he's getting the medals. There it is.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah. That's
Fantastic.
it. So I'm always like taking them all over the place. So sometimes it's at my parents, but it's nice. It's obviously a nice piece of. It's great as a coaster.
Yeah,
obviously it's great as a coaster.
Fantastic.
Our parents think the same.
Most expensive coaster in the world, I
think. Yeah, no doubt about it. And unique. Not many people have those
very
coasters.
Unique. And then if you want another piece of, look at that bad boy.
No, that's not the torch.
It's a torch, yeah.
That is amazing.
How have you ended up with that? Do they just? I don't even know what.
Well, it's like a good club as well. Like,
yeah.
Yes. Obviously, every hole in the torch represents a torchbearer, and then as part of being a torchbearer, you get the opportunity of acquiring one of these.
No way.
And then I was a torchbearer for a brand that I was working with at the time, and they bought me it. So it's pretty cool. So it sits on my desk, and then ironically, not as impressive, I got one from Birmingham in 2022.
A miniature.
A miniature one, which they were like, "Oh, would you like a miniature torch?" I'm like, "Yeah, right."
Sure.
It's just not as impressive though, is it, really?
No. Is it a functioning torch? Can you light it up? So
the London 2012 one has a function at the back, so you can actually use it. So when I got given it, I got given the one that I actually used, and they are meant to disconnect it and then take the gas canister at the bottom away. Well, mine still got a little gas canister at the bottom because I told them to leave it in. So
nice.
This is pretty cool, right?
That is
unique.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
From the games as well. I did pick up little bits and bobs from the games. Like some of the athletes, I steal things like posters and things in the room. I've got all the duvet somewhere. Like my little boy's got Rio and Tokyo duvets on his bed. He loves them. And then the other ones are hiding somewhere. I'm trying to think what else I didn't steal. I never stole anything.
Just acquired. Just fell in the bag.
Acquired. But yeah, there's always little bits that the athletes have as mementos. Always kept certain bits of the kit. I've not kept it all because there's so much.
Yeah.
But the tracksuit tops are like obviously awesome and quite iconic. And then the rest of the kit, I've donated it to younger athletes so that they could experience it as well.
Oh, nice. So they can
They
start
can
their own
wear it.
podcast.
Exactly.
So they can start doing a podcast and they can use that that way. Brilliant, right?
Love it.
I love it. I love the tracksuits. So they are pretty cool, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'll say what is very cool is that we're speaking to you because not long ago in April, George was running the London Marathon. I was cheering and saw you go past, cheered. We made eye contact.
I was definitely in the zone though. Whereabouts were you standing?
We were about 11 miles in.
Okay.
So
I was actually all right at that stage. I was kind of just like,
you were looking good. Yeah. But
little
did we know
George at 11 miles.
Yeah. George was different. George was a different story.
Yeah, you just beat me by that a couple of hours.
Brilliant. That's awesome. Yeah. And was it something that you'd do again or?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I love it more and more as time goes on. Yeah. We're both in the ballot. We'll be talking about, we'll get to London, but yeah, we'll be asking your advice.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think obviously those events are fantastic, aren't they? To kind of, you go and spectate or you volunteer at those events and then be part of it as well. It's a fantastic opportunity to be part of such a massive event. And that's what London 2012 was about, really. Not only as it was fantastic to be a part of it and win, but also the volunteers, the spectators really got something out of it. And I think the city changed in that respect. And I remember actually running London Marathon the year after, and it was phenomenal. I wore gold blades and it's phenomenal that year.
Yeah, right. I think let's just get into it, shall we? Because
I'm all right.
Oh yeah, snack away.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to know where to start when you've got so many achievements. So what I'd like to do is maybe take us back a bit about your background, a bit about your disability, and sort of your pathway into sports would be amazing.
Yeah. So I started off sport with my parents taking me for swimming lessons. So swimming and gymnastics were the two sports that I started with, which are fantastic anyway. And whenever I talk to young people about kind of skills that you acquire through sport, I think those two really did give me the grounding skills that I've adapted and utilised all the way through my career. That's balance, agility and coordination. And then also because my disability wasn't as visible when I was in the water, so it definitely gave me some freedom. And gymnastics, it's great for me as a youngster. Had big shoulders, still had big shoulders, and I was able to utilise those kind of strength elements when I was growing up. And I remember my parents looking for opportunities where sport was accessible, and those were the two that were as amenable and accessible as possible. And then through school, I was representing Great Britain at a high level within swimming. Went to a couple of World Championships, Europeans. Was meant to go to Barcelona Paralympics. Got sick, didn't go, and fell out of love of swimming really and sport, more because the disappointment of not going. And I'd always aspired to be a runner, and obviously somebody that hasn't got any legs, wears prosthetics. There's obviously challenges there. And before I actually went to London 2012, I went to Turin, the Winter Paralympics, which one of my co-students at my school, Ian Warner, was actually captain of the GB sledge hockey team at the time, and knew what a great sports young boy I was, and then encouraged me to come along. And so I did a cycle with those guys, went to one games, and that was actually the last time that GB had actually had a sledge hockey, or it's called para ice hockey team in the game. So it's not had one since I went. And but I've always got that passion of running, and I was inspired by an athlete called Terry Fox, who was a single leg amputee that lost his leg due to sarcoma. I saw that story. A lot of Canadians know Terry Fox because he's well known. He's raised so much money for charity, and he tried to run from east to west of Canada. And I saw him as a bit of an inspiration of going, look, he's an amputee. He's wanting to not only try and do something incredible, but also raise a lot of money. So when I had the prosthetics, that I'd want to do a similar challenge. And in 2004, I entered New York Marathon after going to New York and working out there. And I started my running journey in 2004, running on like these sports cups that were on the bottom of my knee. So it wasn't actually any kind of carbon fiber or anything. It was more like sleeves that went over the bottom of my knees.
Wow.
And then 2 weeks before I went to New York to run, I had these prosthetics. And the hardest thing I've ever done, like they say around being underprepared, I'd never run a 5K, 10K, half marathon race. I'd run those distances in training, but never run a race at all, ever. So I didn't know what to expect. And I went to New York in 2004 and ran my first ever race, which was a marathon. I've not even done like a track event, not 100 meters, 200 meters, nothing.
Yeah.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done because just so underprepared, didn't understand how far 26 miles was, didn't understand about nutrition, didn't understand about the effects of marathon on your body. But it's an incredible thing, like New York City Marathon. New York as a city is one of those cities that really does embrace diversity because of the demographic of the city, and it's the best day of the year for the city as well, New York Marathon, because everybody kind of comes together and there's no kind of body left behind. It's literally everybody gets supported and it's a real kind of community activity. And I finished that race. I said, "That's it. I'm done now. I've raised this money for Macmillan Cancer Relief in memory of my friend Simon Mellows, who unfortunately died of similar to Terry Fox sarcoma." And then I realised that obviously the impact that I had on the streets of New York and back at home really did motivate and inspire people to go on their own journey. And here we are today, really, with like 4 Paralympic Games, 4 medals, 2 golds, 2 silver, 106 marathons now, ran 40 marathons in 40 days, Land's End, John O'Groats. World records wise, I think I've maybe 15 or 16 world records on the track, and then probably more than that on the road. I broke it twice this year, my world record.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy what I do. I enjoy running. Running is such an incredible opportunity for creative process of kind of showing people that anything's possible, especially for somebody like me. But also, it doesn't matter if you're running half marathon in 3 hours or you're running a marathon in 8 hours. It's about kind of going on your own journey. And I'm just fortunate enough that I've got the gift to be able to run fast, and I've got a great team around me that's developed over the years. And yeah, it's definitely been a journey. Obviously, you just mentioned some of the things there. Now, a lot of the times I forget kind of what I've done over the last 20 years in sport, and maybe it's not been in the same field of just like on the track or on the field of play and just throwing a javelin or doing 100 or 200 meters. But I think the diversity of my events has really enhanced my message and my purpose, that it really is for anybody. And if you feel that there isn't a sport for you, definitely athletics and definitely running, jumping, throwing. And I'm not finished, obviously, still ploughing away at more marathons, getting faster. And then my next challenge is Chicago, and I'm trying to do 2:35 there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So first marathon, 5 hours 19.
Yeah.
And then this year, I've ran 6 marathons, all under 3 hours.
Wow.
And then I did Milan 2:40, Boston 2:52, London 2:40 within 15 days.
Yeah. It really is quite a story. And like hearing about all you've done and all you've overcome and all the diversity in sports that you've done, it is like really inspiring. And I'm sure the impact that you have is immeasurable. But I wanted to ask you a little bit. You mentioned Terry Fox. as like a role model. And we spoke about on our podcast before, like the role of our parents being Olympians, although we're not, but like they're role models to us, and how important it is
Yeah.
to have a coach or a teacher or
Yeah.
someone like yourself in your life. Just wondered if there's someone that springs to mind in your personal life who was like pivotal in getting you on this journey, inspiring you to get into sports.
Yeah, I think a lot when I go into schools and talk about like role models and people that have really supported me on the journey, it's more kind of some of the skills that they've shown me, and I've taken that skill and I've used that skill with other skills that other people had as well. But yeah, I've had gymnastic coach Whack, who unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, was a real kind of like figure of like hope and aspiration, and really promoted the benefits of sport, as well as like school teachers like my secondary school tutor Mrs. Griffiths and head teacher Mr. Scott, and my coach now who's been with me since 2006, Liz Yelling, who's an Olympian herself, as well
Yeah.
as Commonwealth bronze medalist. So she's a great mentor and advocate for who I am, and then all just like people that are involved in my like, management team and coaches, and they've all got their little part to play. And I think we sometimes we don't understand the power of influence, and how that has a massive impact moving forward. Just recently, when I announced that I'm going to try and go from 240 to 235, that's 300 seconds. So I kind of put to my team, how can they influence my training and my performance by 300 between London and October? So it's a real challenge to them. So for me to perform at the highest level, I need to have people around me that are helping me to chip away at kind of these massive targets. And I'm 49 years old, and I wanted to knock 4 or 5 minutes off my world record. It's not going to be easy. I feel the data's saying that there's a real possibility of being able to do it, but you need to have people around you, like you say, that are those models, those role models, those individuals that can really liberate you to believe it's possible. And then when you're in that zone and you're in that flow, like you are with your running, some incredible things can happen. And I say, if you believe anything, you can achieve lots of things in life. And I really do believe that. It's and running is a powerful platform to do that.
Yeah, and I just want to talk about that. You sort of mentioned it, the sheer range of stuff you've done. So you've had a lot of people that have believed in you because you've been successful in a lot of things. It's phenomenal, really, when we talk about it. So first marathon, 2004. Then you're Paralympic athlete, 2006, Turin, but not in running, sledge hockey, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Then you go back to marathon, I think. Apologies if this is all going in the wrong order, but there's just jumping around. And then London 2012, you're a sprinter, 200 meters.
I broke the marathon world record in 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
So I did 2:42 in those times. And then I changed.
This is it.
They had no event, literally had no event so I was a skinny marathon runner. That was all about like pace, and kind of locking into like marathon pace. And then I had to, in 2 years, change to 200 meters. And it was never about winning medals at that point. It was about just getting on the team. And 2011, that was the first time I became world champion in New Zealand. A really interesting story there, where I was selected to go to New Zealand, the last place of the team. So I think there was 42 athletes went to New Zealand. I was number 42. And at the time, the performance director, Peter Eriksson, who won't mind me saying that, he didn't really believe in me at all. He said I was too old. He said, we've got people like Dave Weir and Shelley Woods at the time, really experienced athletes in the team, and not really got any room for somebody like you. And I said, well, what would it take for me to get on that plane to London 2012? And he said, you need to go to World Championships and win, and to guarantee that you're going to go. And so that's what I did, really. But when we went to New Zealand, ironically, we had a holding camp in Auckland, where the rugby guys all train. So the New Zealand All Blacks, and we'd kind of hear them training as we were doing our training camp. And anyway, so I had a race in Auckland a week before the Christchurch competition, and I only had one set of blades with me anyway. So I take a march, gun goes, I'm like powering around the bend, and then get 50 meters around the bend, and then all of a sudden my blade snaps, and I'm lying on the floor in the warm-up race,
With no spares.
thinking everything's gone. Like literally, I'm like, I've got not only the World Championships in Christchurch, but also the London 2012. Like I bust my tooth and kind of I was in a bit of a bad way. Anyway, my prosthetic company Ossa, who I've been with since 2004, shipped me 2 new feet from the UK over to Auckland so that I could race in Christchurch.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you won.
And I won. Yeah. And then all is history after that. It's
Wow.
it
I mean,
crazy.
who did you say the name of that sort of director was?
Peter Erickson,
Yeah, Peter
Canadian
Erickson.
guy.
Yeah. Maybe it was all like some deep psychological
No.
tactic to be like, yeah.
I'll end, I think.
No.
So at 2012 when I won, I did my lap of honour, and again this is all true.
Yeah.
I did the lap of honour. I gave my coach Keith Anton a hug and congratulated her, obviously, well done. Did what I meant to do. Obviously, win my race. Peter X was right next to him, and I said, "Never doubt me."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh no, I didn't." I'm like, "No, what do you mean you never did? You didn't give me a place.
Yeah.
Didn't doubt me." I'm like, so yeah, just like, and then obviously like Rio, obviously retaining my title, and then yeah, four world titles, like 10 years unbeaten on the track. It was great to be able to deliver some of those performances, and I think what happened was because I was an older athlete, I'd had lots of experiences with work and teaching, and really felt that it was my time to perform. I just had to manipulate my future journey, which I always felt was marathon running, into a time of my life that would really set me up for that. And the platform that Track Athletics gave me was great, and to be able to be at Loughborough University and kind of be there for all that time and utilise those facilities. But yeah, I knew that I was always going to come back to marathon because I was really passionate about it, and also the benefits that I saw around legacy for younger people, like we're seeing now with obviously a lot more younger people running and taking part in endurance events like High Rocks and other ultra marathons. There's such a great opportunity and movement available, and I kind of saw that from the success of 2012.
Think about 2012. Like we got to go and see some events, didn't we? We saw the cycling, I saw some rowing. I mean, looking
Our
back,
favourite games.
Oh, for sure. It feels like it was incredible, wasn't it? Just to be there as a spectator. So what was it like? You spoke about like how hard it was to even get a spot in the team.
Yeah.
So to then make the team at a home Paralympics and then to get the gold.
Yeah.
And like that moment when you were celebrating, I watched it again last night. I mean, it's an incredible video. We'll put clips of the YouTube video. How did it feel? Try and explain
I think
that moment.
So probably before that, in the holding camp, a friend of mine that went to the Olympics then came over to holding camp, Christina Urugu. So she came over and she spoke to us all, and then I personally had a kind of conversation about it with her, and she said, "Look, it's going to be the biggest event that you ever experience in your life, like bigger than anything that supersedes it." And I kind of took from that I need to be ready for that emotional toll, and also just kind of really dial into the processes that myself and Keith Anton, my coach, has kind of gone through. And when things happen in the race, understand that the athletes are going to get away from me in the 200 meters, because at that stage I've still got marathon legs, so I'm still quite slow in that first 50, and just kind of then like pull them back in, and then if people have trained harder than you, then clearly they deserve to be able to beat you on the track. But I always felt that I was the best athlete on my day. Felt no one could beat me in the gym, never mind on the track or whatever. And because of that, kind of really was confident. Like even if you see the start when I'm announced to the crowd, 80,000 people, I was very confident that I was able to demonstrate what kind of athlete I was. And then obviously the gun goes, and the first 50 meters, I could feel the crowd go silent, and because obviously I'm expected to be the gold medal hope in that on that day. I was the only athlete that won gold, and then I'm starting to pick people off. 50 meters, I'm driving. I'm like, I think there's about 80 meters to go. I'm still in 8th or something like that, and then this kind of whirlwind effect of the crowd and the noise was really part of like kind of pulling me to the finish line. And there's obviously a moment when you're winning. Do I settle for silver, or do I kind of really push on? And as I pulled onto the back of Scott Reardon, who was second, who I don't actually get on with it or don't like, then it kind of really did help me kind of blow the field away and winning gold medal time, world record time. And I believe in the Olympics and Paralympics, in a final, that was the only final that every athlete had a personal best. And the world record, Oceania record, European record, etc., all the way through the field. All 9 of us had personal bests, because there's 9 lanes obviously at that track. There's 9 people that qualified, and we on the 1st of September 2012, that's when I won.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, I'm glad you talked about this, how you start slow and then you seem to just find something, or you get up to your top speed and then no one can live with it. And as someone watching, you're like, oh no, something's happened.
Yeah.
But then you get to like know that that's how you race, and it just takes time. And you're saying that's your marathon background.
Yeah, and I think it was. I'd obviously tried to train where I utilise as much of my knowledge and expertise for the marathon in respects kind of just being very relaxed and taking everything in, and preparation was kind of key. But I didn't want to be as obviously slow as my marathon. I wanted to be a sprinter. And that's what I had to, over the time that I was a sprinter, the 12 years I was sprinting, it was really around kind of changing my whole body into being like a bulletproof athlete that was a world-class sprinter as well as a world-class distance runner. And it did take a bit of time. And when I was 2012, I was definitely a raw athlete, where I was trying to lots of bolt-on activities, so be super strong, but then also still utilise those skills I'd developed as a marathon runner. And even though through my track athletics career, I continued to still run on the road, maybe 30, 40, 50 miles, obviously focus was my sprinting, and I was obviously a funded athlete. So I was paid to do that as well as everything else. And really proud moments, being able to, I think, not just winning and being on top of the podium, which incredible moments, but obviously just putting the tracksuit on and representing my country. Yeah, those moments you can't take away from anybody. And I look back at those and fond memories. And I think anybody that has that opportunity, win, lose or draw, or whatever position you come in, is a great honour. And I think everybody should, really kind of celebrate that.
Speaking of celebrating, you have a bit of a trademark signature, Richard. Flexing the guns.
That's it.
Yeah.
Have to work on the guns, boys. That's it. Have to work on them.
I want to talk about the signature swans. Do you remember the first time that you did it? How did it come about?
And that was at London 2012. And it wasn't something that kind of was pre-planned at all. All I remember was that So my agent at the time, Rob Woodhouse, who is actually an ex-Olympian himself from Australia, he was talking to me about, like really embrace the moment, the games, and there'll be certain things that go off in the games that you really be life changing, and maybe not just the race or the aftermath, but maybe just like you'll meet somebody or you'll hear something and kind of really embrace it, because you just don't know if it's your last ever race. Or and I always say that to any athlete that's racing, race it as though it's your last. And it was kind of a message that came from him and his team. But I was with a real small group of athletes at 2012 with his agency that were kind of real kind of iconic athletes. So myself, Rebecca Adlington, Chris Hoy, Adam Peaty was coming on board at that stage, Jason Kenny, etc. So some real kind of big iconic names. Anyway, so I'd seen obviously how they performed in the Olympics, and obviously you go back to London 2012 and Chris Hoy, when he won, he was like that when he finished. So I think that was probably still in my head as I was kind of, it was definitely wasn't planned, but I think it was not necessarily a tribute to Chris, because I know Chris Hoy really well and he's a great guy. It was more, if I wanted to trade, if I wanted to celebrate, I wanted to celebrate like a superhuman. And like in 2012, Chris Hoy was like the Incredible Hulk. That's all I can explain him. Is like such a frigging massive guy, like legs like not like tree trunks, like cannons, like massive, and like just a big guy. And I think I wanted that kind of real iconic finish. And I remember it was like, as I was coming through and I saw the finish line, and literally my arms went up, a real celebration of how far I've come in sport. And a lot of people have said, how long did it take to plan that? And I've like, boy, it didn't. It like just happened.
And
I
now
think
it's
a
there.
lot of people talk about relief when you have the pressure at home games, being able to deliver that. I think just to go to home games is so magical. I would say that the pressure that I put on myself was more not to mess it up, to kind of give the best of myself, but understanding that so many things can happen, like environmental, like nutritionally, like you could be sick, and it's just about kind of just getting all your preparation right, being sensible, getting to the start line, and then enjoying it. And I definitely did enjoy the winning, and it's definitely my greatest winning moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In that stadium. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's definitely an athletic stadium, not a football stadium as well, as a Spurs fan.
Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs.
You reeled off a few famous, Olympians there that were part of the same agency. I'd say that after London 2012, you were added. You became a household name, and then the year after, I think it was 2013, you got your MBE.
Yeah.
So you became this
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, you became this like famous person.
Superstar.
Yeah, superstar. Like, how did you deal with the aftermath of the games? Like, was it something you were ready for?
It was pretty
or was it-
crazy, yeah. And obviously events and recognition, and like having buses named after you, and gold letter boxes, and I've got honorary doctorate at Nottingham University and Trent University, and just I think it's fantastic to have that gravitas, that it shows that it really does mean something to people that you won gold. I would say that not every gold medalist is a good person, and I think hopefully the gold medal for me has shown me that I need to be a good person to really kind of say thank you to people that have supported me in getting to that gold medal, and hopefully I'm a better person now before that gold medal. And I know for some other people have really struggled with after success and what they did, like physical health, mental health wise. For me, I just was always looking at what next, and next challenge, next big thing. But just it's also enjoying it, because through my life I'd had so many challenges and obstacles to overcome as a person with a disability, to then have recognition that has nothing to do with the challenges that I've had to overcome. It was purely like because of what I did on that track in 2012 was fantastic. And I think it was a moment for people with disabilities across the UK. And some people with disabilities didn't like it because they were like compared with Paralympians. But I think for me and some of the disability community, it was a real light bulb moment to know that there's all these different disabilities out there. And if you believe that you're able to compete at the highest level and put the training in, there's those opportunities just like our Olympic counterparts. And on some levels, we were made to feel very parallel, because obviously the Paralympics is a parallel games, but other areas are still, like, even to this day, there's still some real negatives around the difference between Olympic and Paralympic events. And as somebody that was successful at those games, I'm one of the athletes that are really pushing for equality and to support disabled people in their mission to be fitter and healthier, not just Paralympic athletes.
Yeah. And do you think that almost that drove you to do your next challenge? Because you were like, okay, I'm not going to rest on my laurels here. Your next thing was, right, I'm going to go back to marathons.
Yeah.
And
I know,
not just the one, 40 in total in 40 days running from John O'Groats to Land's End. So as someone who's ran up and the length and breadth of the UK, what are the best and the worst places in the country to run through?
Well, again, there's a story behind that as well. So in 2013, it was the World Championships in Lyon. So basically what happened was I had to convince the performance director, who was, I think it was still Peter Erickson at the time, or it might have been Paula Dunn, that it wouldn't affect, whatever I did, it wouldn't affect my performance on the track. So I went to Lyon. I literally broke the world record and won my 200 meters. I think I was maybe second or third in the 100 as well. And then a week later, I was up in Scotland starting 40 marathons. Literally a week later. And it was scorching. I couldn't believe how hot it was. It was literally one of those summers where it was about 40 odd degrees in France, and like I was, and then
in Scotland,
and then I won, and I'm like, all the lads are going, "What are you doing? You're going on holiday?" I'm like, "No, for 6 weeks I'm running." I'm just running marathons. I'm running marathons, but I stayed in some absolute pitiful like hotels up and down the country. And all we did is we did point to point. So it was, I'd start and then run 26 miles, and it was like a white mark with like an icon, a bit white icon sprayed on the road, and then we start there the next day. And so then we'd stay in hotels like in the back end of nowhere, but some really nice ones like in Scotland around Loch Ness. Some dodgy ones around like West Midlands and Solihull.
Yeah.
I bet some of your listeners, if you're from Solihull, I bet they know which ones are.
We're not far, mate. We're from Warsaw, which is
Warsaw. Yeah, I know. There's some definitely dodgy ones around there.
Yeah,
but Best Westerns. I'm glad I've never been sponsored by Best Western, because they've got some terrible. They did have some terrible hotels, but then also we had some country houses that we stayed at, which were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And through that process, I kind of started at John O'Groats, and then went kind of down towards Inverness, crossed towards Manchester and down through the Dales. Actually went back to Nottingham to do an event in Nottingham, and then from Nottingham then ran towards like Somerset and down that way, and then all the way down to Land's End, which again incredible, the ability to be able to do that. I'm very proud of myself and my team, and just kind of sticking with it. And back-to-back marathons is tough, but 40. And so the idea was, so we had we were raising money for two charities. Sarcoma UK, I'm a patron of Sarcoma UK. It's obviously a charity that unfortunately Simon Mellows and obviously Terry Fox died of sarcoma, as well as Scope, a charity that supports disabled people as well across the UK. And from that, we encourage people to sign up and then run with me, which in theory is really good. But then when you get people that are very slow or just have no banter, it was just really tough.
I've got
and
best Western to get to here.
yeah, I still got to get like a microwave steak, and oh my goodness, like some of the food, like
that is so funny.
yeah, it was shocking. And then so some days I just wanted to get some bed, get some sleep, and then crack on. And then other days I was like, yeah, let's have
So you got Ruth from Warsaw joining you today.
yeah, it was like
no.
some people from like what's his name, Ricky from Five, or he came one day and like I had the Port Vale football team. So Lee Hughes, who I knew from Notts County, was playing for Port Vale. Great, this is a great story. So was playing for Port Vale, and he's got pre-season training, lads. I'm like, my mate Rich is running a Land's End running race. We're joining for like the marathon. Starts off with a marathon. I'm like, he doesn't know how to run, never mind what a marathon is. And anyway, so I'm like, right, just to let you know, Lee, we're going to do 5K, then stop 5K, 5K, all the way through the day. Just so if any of the lads want to jump on, we've got a little minibus at the back. If anybody of the lads want to jump on the minibus, they can jump on the minibus. And I tell you, after 5K, I think there's about 5 of them left out of 40. And literally, they were useless, like proper useless. And none of them, they hated it, like they hated running. And I've never heard so many people moan about running in my life. Yeah. It was so funny. And,
it is.
I don't think they did very well that year because of that run.
Well, don't footballers, they cover like about 10K or something.
Well,
and in 90 minutes, I mean,
Port Vale, I don't think they cover that, do they? But yeah, and then I had loads of different people. The greatest thing about that race regarding the charities, we raised about £400,000, but the awareness was so good. Like we had like cancer sufferers, people that had received support and guidance from the charities, as well as people that had heard our story, like followed us down the country, and that awareness was so good. And from that, the sarcoma charity, which was very small, then exploded and started to raise hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds every year, which again I'm really proud of, just being a small part of that. And I think that's also the told story about the impact that you can have by, like for London Marathon, for sake, if you're running for a charity, you've got your charity vest, you're running for maybe somebody you've lost or a charity that you're really passionate about. Not only are you raising money, the awareness, somebody on the street will see you're running for, I don't know, whatever it is, MND, and then all of a sudden they're like, I can do that as well, and I want to do it for M&D because of my dad or whoever. And it's so powerful. So I definitely advocate for anybody that wants to do a charitable event. Do it for a purpose. Do it something that's really purposeful for yourself. And not only will you raise money and awareness, you'll also grow as a person and have a deeper connection to your purpose as well.
I think that leads us quite nicely on to the London Marathon, because we do have a few questions on that, because this year, even though your career started a long time ago, you're still smashing it, Richard. World record at the London Marathon, 2 hours, 40 minutes, 25 seconds.
Yeah.
And you plan to go even quicker. But you've run the London Marathon a few times. What is it about the London Marathon that is so special that keeps coming back?
Yeah, so I've done London about 11 now, I think, 11 times. I've done New York 10. I'll do it the 11th this year. And I think various different reasons. So I love New York's probably my favourite marathon because it's a tough race. It's not about PBs. It's about kind of the whole process of running the race and the hills and early start and the people and the crowds and the gospel choirs, etc. London's it's so busy, like the crowds really do shout you on, and there's people on the streets that have been there for hours waiting for loved ones, and even though they've got a sign that says keep going Monica, they'll shout for you, they'll shout for anybody, and like these big heads, and they have like people handing out ice pops and ice creams. And there's so many times I've had like scenarios where I've literally nearly been passing out and somebody's passed me an energy drink, or just like they've gone into the bag and got me like something out of the bag to kind of just get me a couple more steps. And marathons a leveler because you have to respect the marathon. I've had some moments in marathons where I've gone, this is going to be a tough one today. Don't think I'm going to finish. And I've finished every marathon because of all the resilience and perseverance that I've had to overcome in my life, but also my kind of bulldog approach of like competition that I'm always having to give my best. But London has so many iconic parts of it. You've got Cutty Sark, you've got obviously going past the London Eye and Big Ben, and obviously finishing with obviously the Palace, Buckingham Palace and the Mall. But then other little like bits of the course that kind of you'll see it and you'd remember it and you go, wow, I remember that person like shouting for me that corner, or remember like having a real tough moment then. And
remember that tall guy at mile 11 round Rotherhithe area.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
mean?
And there's some great activation on the course, like the Pride Mile at London is phenomenal. Like everybody that does London will say the Pride Mile is so loud, and Run Dem Crew and Muslim runners and some real kind of groups of people that really take over those stages. For me, make it very unique. Like I say, for me, it's like London and New York are on the par for how great they are. And I think also the history behind it, obviously, how it's grown over the years. Marathon running still needs to kind of make sure that it's accessible for anybody, and really does offer an opportunity for anybody to experience it. And it obviously does become really tough when 1.3 million people enter the ballot for 50 and 60,000 places.
Yeah.
It just shows the appetite for it, doesn't it? And I think as an event, it's unmatched with obviously how much money it raises for charity, but also how it really changes your perception of not only a city but a country. Like lots of people that see London Marathon on TV, I'm talking people all over the world, go, wow, isn't Great Britain fantastic? Just because of that one day, and seeing the flags and seeing the people and the camaraderie and the costumes, like people in costumes. You didn't run in a costume, did you, George? No.
I did. I was dressed as a seagull.
Were you? No, but I thought you always dress like a seagull, don't you?
Only on race day.
I don't know, that was like a normal thing for you.
No, I was in a costume. And when you spoke about dark periods of time and thinking you might not be able to finish, that was like an hour in full for me. So
Wow.
I had a big struggle.
Wow,
It was a very heavy
and a long way still to go, isn't it?
thick head of costume. Yeah, it was tough. But
I've got a question for you, mate. I've got a question for you. When you've got the head on and everything's going a bit crazy because you're hearing stuff going on left, right. Go on, seagull. Go on. Because I know like people just shout any kind of random rubbish at you.
Yeah.
And then you want to stop because London crowds don't let you stop. How did you continue to keep going?
I mean,
was it the thought of pinching those chips off a little old lady?
Yeah. I was thinking about the chips and the pasties. I mean, there was a period of time where I was like, "Oh, I'm actually so warm. I might have to abandon." But yeah, because I'd raised the money and I'd been talking about it and posting about doing it as a seagull. Yeah, I just could. I was like, "You gotta keep going."
Yeah, you have. Yeah, and the crowds honestly don't let you. Like sometimes I've had to stop because my legs are shot or I've just been so dehydrated, and I don't generally ever stop when I run marathons. But yeah, it's hard to stop because you stop and
people are like, go on. People like me on the side. No, come on, just a few more steps.
One more step. I'm like,
you don't know.
I'm done. That's it. I'm done. That's it. And then you have to pull yourself. Yeah, because a lot of people have seen me run before. I've run a lot of marathons with a lot of people around that kind of same time zone. So, and then because I'm very visible as a person, if like, for instance, like when I did Berlin and met Harry Styles. Like Harry Styles was in costume, right? If I was in a costume, you still know it's Richard Whitehead, right? But that's an issue, and that's what I always say about the start line. When, say for instance, like George, if you're in your fancy dress, you need a pee. You go in a bush, you have a pee. They're not going to know it's George that lives around the corner.
That's true.
But if Richard Whitehead that wears prosthetics goes around the bush and everybody sees a guy in prosthetics around the bush, they know it's Richard Whitehead. So even that, when I'm running and successful doing all that jazz, it's fantastic. But when I'm dying for a pee, or it's not that great.
Yeah.
Put your phones away,
I
people.
might have a seagull outfit for next year.
Yeah.
But you talked about that all the people that are in the ballot, right? 1.3 million or whatever it is now. There's going to be loads of people who are going to miss out, going to be disappointed, like me, who's in the ballot and wants to do London. Probably not going to do it. But you've done marathons all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Are there any hidden gems, any outside your majors that you'd say, man, George, if you don't do London, head here?
Yeah, Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. That's so you're running for a national reserve. Like, literally, I ran past baboons, like massive, elephant turds, like
Were you back in Warsaw?
As I was going from Solihull to Warsaw, so literally, so that is it's an incredible race, and what I think is a real problem around the marathon community is I hear this a lot around, I need to break 20 minutes as 5K. I need to do that, break 1:30 for half marathon. I need to break 3 hours. Go for the experience. There's so many incredible races, like the Midnight Marathon I did last year in Tromsø in Norway. Great race, like fantastic, very friendly. Rome Marathon, Milan Marathon. Like Rome, if you want to see Rome in like 3 or 4 or 5 hours or however long it takes you to run a marathon, you will see everything in Rome in that marathon. It's phenomenal. Boston, obviously, and the other majors are great, but you have to get into those, and they're very busy. Some of the smaller races, I would say tier 2 races, are the ones that I would recommend because the expos are less busy. It's slightly cheaper with like things like accommodation and getting to them. And then also the experience that you have is phenomenal. Like Malta Marathon, again, people say, Malta's a bit chaotic as a marathon. But I found it like really enjoyable, and the people there were like really kind of embracing, and I think it's about kind of looking what you want. If you like city breaks and you've maybe got a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, and you want to see the city, why not enter a half marathon, a marathon, and go with it that way, and actually treat it as a bit of a day out. If it's taking you 5-6 hours to run the marathon, use it as a bit of you'd be on your feet anyway, maybe walking the city, doing maybe 20, 30,000 steps, actually do a marathon as well or instead, and actually celebrate that success. A lot of people now do it, and there's so many races all over the world, and I would recommend, if you don't get into London, to look at some of those other, like you say, hidden gems that are all over the world, and every major city has a marathon.
That's it, yeah.
I tell you what, I went to one last year, Tirana in Albania. They have not seen anybody like me before. I was like an alien. Do you know, like the first time when on ET, when he sees like ET, the little lad sees ET, and he's like, I was like that for about 4 days. Like people come up to me, guy with no legs.
Yeah. And then they see you run.
I was like, wow, these people have not seen somebody that's an amputee that walks before.
Well, yeah, let alone runs.
I know, exactly. And then all of a sudden, but I had a stinker as well. That was one of the races, a real stinker. So when I was running, one of my bolts in my leg snapped, and the Tirana Marathon is 2 loops, so it's half marathon, and then you do it again. And then as you go through half marathon, the right side is finish, the left side is to continue for the marathon. My bolt snapped at mile 10, so I'm literally going.
Do I call it?
So I've got like to go through the start finish area, not thinking I'm going to like jump off the course here, because I had all these marathons to do week on week, and I couldn't afford not to finish this race. I think it was maybe marathon number 17 or something, and then I had maybe 16, and I had 3 or 4 in America after that, and I had to do this race. This was like, it was either that one or Amsterdam, and I did that one, and so literally I had a pacer with me, Jamie, a Spanish guy who's a fantastic runner, and literally honestly, for for 16 miles, every 400 to 500 meters, we're having to stop and readjust my leg because my leg was just moving. It was
Wow.
painful. And I finished in,
God.
I think, 4 hours, 5 minutes.
Still faster than a seagull.
Still finished a good time, but literally I was so tired from just stopping and adjusting my leg. Literally every 500 meters. I'm not joking.
That is
Wow.
tough.
Yeah. So George, we're you want to go on safari? Let's go
Yeah.
to Zimbabwe. That sounds
down.
good. Yeah,
You
do
pay
a
for the
running
flights.
safari.
Incredible race. It's incredible. They have like a 5K, a community 5K run that has about 20,000 people. It's incredible.
Wow.
At the same time as this marathon. But you
Yeah.
literally see everything.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's pin that one in. Right. I'm going to transition now, Richard, to some of your other appearances, let's say. So you've been on some incredible TV shows. I was going through some of these.
Yeah.
You've been on The Last Leg, Splash,
Yeah, Splash.
Beat the Chasers.
Beat the Chasers twice, yeah.
Taking home 24 grand, I think yeah. But this is my favourite, Celebrity Hunted.
Is that the 100 with you and Thomas? Jesus.
With you and Thomas. First question, do you feel like you're on the run? Does it feel...
I did with Ewan. I felt very tired of Ewan by the end of it. I felt very tired of Ewan, and he will say that I definitely was very tired of Ewan by the end of it. Ewan has a lot of energy until 2 p.m. and he's like, so he'd be the one that'd get up at like 6, so we couldn't move until 7 a.m. and he's one at like 6 a.m. going, come on, gotta go. They're outside. I'm like, chill out, man. Let's just stop. They're outside.
We're safe, Ewan. Chill, man.
Wants a taxi home. That's it. That's all I'm thinking. I just need my coffee. Let's just anyway. So yeah, he had a lot of energy in the morning, and then by, I think it was day 12 out of the 14, I got caught. So ironically, about 4 miles from my home, which was ideal. And,
convenient.
Yeah, that's very convenient. And because it's a game show, you have to jump through a lot of hoops. So a lot of what you see isn't real, and it's all like filmed on GoPros and things like that. So
yeah, okay.
My frustration was that we are very, very competitive. Obviously, me and Ewan or Ewan got away, and our team won. But we're very creative, and we were like, I want to do this, I want to do that, and they wouldn't let us do it. Some of them were dangerous, but others were like, they were just cool things to do. We wanted to do like really cool things every day, and they're like, you can't do that, and you can't do this. Every day we were fighting with the producers because we had cool things to do, and I think they were just cooler than they had for the finish.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's good. That was good. I've done loads of bits of what I've just done countdown as well. I did that before London Marathon. Did that for a week. I was on Dictionary Corner, which was good.
Yes, incredible.
I've done loads of little like cameo bits. I enjoy it. I enjoy doing those things, and speaking at events and just getting involved. Really, just kind of put yourself in vulnerable situations and kind of just having a bit of a go.
But have you been a pointless answer? Our mum was a pointless answer once.
Really? Yes. I think maybe I have. I've definitely been an answer on the chase.
Oh yeah.
I guess because you don't really want to be the pointless answer, because that means no one knows who you are. It's not really a flex.
This is
no one knows our mom.
As long as you know, it's fine, right?
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
But no, that is cool. That's cool.
Are there any TV shows that you'd still love to do? Game shows, reality?
Yes, I want to do I'm a Celebrity, and I've kind of been quite vocal recently about that.
Oh.
I've been very close to it a couple of times. I think I've got a bit of banter. People say I've got a bit of banter, so I think I'd be quite good at it.
You got the banter.
I'd love to see you in the jungle eating those.
I know, I know. Well, all my mates will be like ringing up saying he needs to eat kangaroo penis. That's the game.
You're like, sign me up.
Right, this is the start of the campaign, guys. Get Richard on I'm a Celebrity.
Eat the penis.
We'll clip this. We'll share it. You'll get on.
Yeah, exactly. You need to send it them. Yeah, but yeah. So I'd really like to do that. And then some of the other ones are like maybe the Bear Grylls-y kind of ones I quite fancy. I think sometimes it's the audience, not the actual show that really interests me. And if if you've got an opportunity to connect to some of those like people that you might not have had before, that those hard to reach ones, and you're able to have those real positive behavioural moments where you might be able to get some people off their backsides and move, because maybe running or physical activity is just like really strong words that they've never associated with. Just getting people moving is so important, and hopefully the things that I continue to do actually get people moving and have an impact of like physical activity. It's like for me, it's been like transformative, and obviously given me so many great opportunities. But yeah, I'm very thankful for that, and I hopefully people see that I work really hard for everything that I do.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we're getting to the end, but we know that you have got a big birthday next month. So we wanted to say
21.
Happy birthday for your big 21st birthday next month.
50.
What are your plans? Do you have any birthday plans? How are you going to celebrate? 50 marathons?
No, I'm not. I hate running, really. I will do something. I'm not going to put it on social media, because picture people, just random people turn up. Imagine that. Yeah, I'm in Ibiza, and all of a sudden all my mates are going, yeah, we come to
Port Vale team turn up.
yeah, exactly. That's it. All the hunters turn up or something like that. Yeah, I think for me it's like I want to break obviously my world record this year again. So focus sporting wise is that I just showcase that I can do that, and then maybe just plan for other future events. Whether look to maybe do another Paralympic cycle. There's maybe a possibility of LA, which again I've talked about recently. Just a bit of downtime over my 50th birthday with obviously the family and friends, but also just maybe a bit of reflection. I don't probably reflect enough of the stuff that I've done because I'm just so busy. It's just like on to the next, and might be nice for just have a couple of weeks where I can kind of just say, actually, I've done quite well. Maybe I need to have a little bit of time off and kind of build for the next chapter. Maybe start to write my autobiography and
a bit of downtime in the jungle
about all this stuff. I've got some really kind of awesome stories within sport and the people that I've met. And I think young people especially will be able to gravitate towards some of the tools that I've gained and the experiences I've had to kind of pick up themselves. And because obviously at the moment there's one of the major barriers in economics. So obviously things are quite expensive. Young people are still struggling to access physical activity. And hopefully me moving into like my 50s that I'll be able to support maybe some of the governmental moves to be more physically active, or just my foundation making some real waves in the possibilities that you don't have to have a disability to be inspired by Paralympic sport or disability sport. Sports for everybody, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I remember, the Paralympics was
incredible.
Just they always are incredible. So and I remember the marketing campaign, we've talked about ads.
Yeah,
George gets on to me about I work in marketing, and he goes, "Oh God, here we go again." the whole campaign around the Paralympics in London 2012 is like and even the song just takes you back to that, and awesome. It was a real moment, I think.
And even that closing ceremony as well, like so. I think the Olympics had like Spice Girls, and they were moaning because it was like pretty poor, and then we had Coldplay and like Jay-Z and Beyonce, and it was like, I remember going for a pee. So I was another pee moment. I was going for a pee. I think there's me, Johnny Peacock, and Ellie Simmons in the lift going up, and then on the way back down, we were in the lift with all those guys, and we're just about to go on stage, and
with Coldplay.
Yeah, with Chris Martin, and because with shorter hair, I look a little bit like Chris Martin, and I think Ellie
imagine getting ushered on stage.
Yeah,
Chris,
Ellie said, "Oh, it's your twin" or something like that. It was quite and then so 2012 was a real enlightening moment, and I think it'd be hard to ever beat that again. And even there's obviously been talk about having the Olympics and Paralympics back in London. It might be a negative thing. I think if you're trying to ignite the the flame of 2012. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. And also the Olympic family need to look wider field, and maybe I know it costs a lot of money to put on these events, but maybe we need to look to inspire those people that have never seen like Olympic Paralympic before. China, like India, Pakistan, those kind of countries out that way that billions and billions of people that maybe deserve the same opportunities that we've had in the past.
Very true.
Awesome.
Well,
great to chat to you guys.
It has been so great. You are such an inspiration, Richard. You've done so much. Your career has been so broad, and to be reaching 50 and still going for world records, it's incredible stuff. It is crazy. And you're going to get 2:35.
What is the fastest seagull that's run the marathon? It must be you.
I don't want to brag, but I think it's George James Cook.
There you go. So that's it. There you go. That's it. That's it. What time did you finish?
I'm embarrassed.
Have you finished yet?
I'll send you a DM. I did 4 hours 40.
Nice.
Awesome. It was hot. It was a difficult day. I would like to go again and try and get the world record for the fastest bird. Maybe not the fastest seagull. I'll be a more streamlined bird in the future, I think.
Yeah.
Like a swift or a kingfisher.
That's it. Maybe there's a podcast in that. Streamlined birds.
Yeah, we'll get you back on.
Yeah. Awesome speaking to you guys, and great work as well. Obviously, listen to your podcast, and it's great that obviously your legacy, your family legacy of Olympic sport, has obviously transcended your parents, and obviously gone to you guys. So well done.
Yeah,
appreciate
hopefully
that, Richard.
Our next generation might actually make it.
Yeah.
Just skip this generation. Yeah.
You're a great marketer. Well done.
Yeah.
That'll go straight on my LinkedIn. Thank you.
Yeah, Richard says.
Endorsed by Richard Whitehead.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Here's a link.
Yeah, well played. Yeah, thank you, Richard, again. And great to chat.
Cheers.
Well, that was Richard Whitehead. What a dream.
What a legend. What a legend.
Yeah. How did you find that, George, doing our first co-interview?
It was good. It was good, wasn't it? I mean, you plan out how you think it's going to go, and you have to be ready to adapt to whatever. Because obviously we did interview Crammy, but for 7 minutes. We basically chatted to Richard for an hour. What a legend.
Yeah. I loved that he turned up in his gear. We didn't ask him to do that. So either someone's told him that, hey, you need to get your gear out. But, he went all in, and the fact he had the Olympic torch when he busted that out.
The medal, the gear on the wall. He had a little disco light going as well. Did you notice that? A little disco ball. Just brings the vibes, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Positive.
Not taking himself too seriously, motivational, but also up for a bit of banter.
He was, wasn't he? He called someone a bell end at one point. What I was expecting. Great chat, and very appreciative of him coming on, because that's a big name.
I think we need to sign up for some of those tips for the for future marathons. Very interested in Rome. Very interested in Victoria Falls. I think that would be a great one.
Is that the African one he mentioned? I mean, that would be great, wouldn't it? I can imagine it's a fair bit of bob.
Yeah.
I'd want to hang around afterwards for the safari, but
absolutely.
A lot to think about.
Yeah, lots to ponder, but great guest. And thank you, Richard, for taking some time on your Friday night to talk to a couple of bang average Sons of Olympia, just fanboys. So thanks again.
Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed it, listeners. If you did, give us a review. Follow us on Spotify, on YouTube, on social media at Sons of Olympia Pod. And we'll see you next week. Probably not for a guest, but who knows? Anything could happen.
A week's long time.
That's why you got to follow.
Yes. All right.
Nice
Good
one,
to chat,
Matt.
George.
Yeah. See you later.
See ya. Bye-bye.